Nostradamus, the Lost Book manuscript, and ancient cultures from around the world appear to target the 2012 time period as one of change that could be apocalyptic in scope. For some, recent worldwide events highlight the potential for emergency. Another Lost Book drawing attributed to Nostradamus continues the story of warning.
What's interesting about this is that, again, we see the archer, Sagittarius, and he's pointing his arrow, he's actually shooting his arrow into a woman, okay? And this woman is the center of the galaxy. I would think it means that at the great alignment, the scale or the balance of our decisions and life are all going to be more important.
Closer examination of this image reveals an intriguing symbolism. Sagittarius's arrow and the woman form a cross that resembles the galactic alignment.
The sky we presage, through clear signs and by fixed stars. Suddenly the age of change approaches, neither for its good, nor for its evil.
In this quatrain, do the phrases clear signs and fixed stars allude to the sun rising in line with the dark center of the galaxy, ushering in a sudden age of change? Are Nostradamus and the Lost Book drawings envisioning a cosmic event that causes earthly havoc?
As we go through these 7 drawings, they get more and more interesting, and this one is really interesting because it really backs up the whole motif. It's really trying to draw attention to the astrology and the astronomy of this event that Nostradamus is trying to tell us about.
If it is indeed the case that the alignment triggers a significant shift on the Earth below, pinpointing its occurrence is of vast importance. The mysterious alchemist known only by the name Fulcanelli claims in the 1920s to have decoded the Mason symbols on the Gothic cathedrals. Fulcanelli also writes of an obscure cross in southern France called the Cross of Henday. Though little is known about the origin of the cross, Fulcanelli believes it carries a message that echoes the Masons' predictions about the end of days.
What Fulcanelli, who was the first person to write about the Cross of Henday, says is that this monument is telling us about what is about to happen to us, and that this age has no other seal than that of death.
A small group of researchers believe that the symbols carved into the base of this cross reveal not only the date when the coming danger will arrive, but also the sequence in which the events will unfold.
When I began deciphering the Cross of Henday, I went through every single symbol. I came to realize that the star on the pedestal was the center of the galaxy, and that it was exactly opposite the sun, the angry sun face on the pedestal, and that the moon was exactly opposite this odd oval. And as I explored this further, I realized that the odd oval is the precession of the equinoxes. And so this is like the big clock that we're watching.
The clock appears to be counting down to the coming galactic alignment in a very specific way. The gravitational pull of the sun and the moon cause the Earth to wobble on its axis, which means that the Earth's view of the constellations changes by 1 degree every 72 years. This is called the precession of the equinoxes. Over 26,000 years, these constellations rotate a full 360 degrees back to their starting point. According to one interpretation, the cross, like the Mayan calendar, uses the last galactic alignment that happened 26,000 years ago as a starting point to count down to the next one, due to occur in 2012.
If we start with the cross, it's easy to see, okay, this is our alignment. Basically, if you look at all the images combined, you come up with a rough idea that what we're looking at is a time period. And that time period is roughly equivalent to the Mayan calendar, from roughly 1992, 1993, through 2012.
They decided to put all of the knowledge into this little obscure monument, hoping that someone would one day discover it and begin deciphering it so that we would know the secret of the end of time.
This is what Nostradamus was pointing to in the quatrains, and this is what Fulcanelli was sort of punctuating with the idea of the Henday Cross. It's coming, get ready, it's going to happen, get ready, be aware of it. That's about all you can do.
According to the prophecies of Nostradamus, the catastrophes that some believe he sees climaxing in 2012 are already beginning to descend upon us.
When the fish that is both terrestrial and aquatic will be put upon the beach by a strong wave, its shape strange, smooth, and horrifying, they instantly reach the enemy from the sea to the walls.
Is this quatrain forecasting the deadly tsunami of 2004 that killed over 150,000 people?
If you look at some of the videotaped images of the tsunami wave that hit the southern part of India, where he talks about the ocean swelling and looking ugly in its appearance, and then coming in, and he says fish and animals being swept up onto the shore.
Some scientists question whether the cause of the tsunami and other impending natural disasters could be the coming galactic alignment.
As we go through that change, it's intense, and in that intensity, we can expect extremes of all the things that we've already experienced. Extremes of earthquakes. There was a 9.0 earthquake in the Pacific Ocean in a place that had never even been previously known to have a fault.
There is a growing concern that earthquakes and tsunamis may be just the beginning of the natural disasters that could bring the world tumbling down, including the potent eruptions of the sleeping giants known as supervolcanoes.
The last time one of these things really popped was in Lake Toba, Indonesia. I think it was about 70,000 years ago, and approximately 90% of what then was the human species was extincted. In today's numbers, that would be 5.5, 6 billion.
In the area of Yellowstone National Park in the state of Wyoming, a subterranean supervolcano has now moved into what scientists call the red zone, a category that means it could be preparing to erupt.
Once a supervolcano such as Yellowstone moves into the red zone to where it could erupt, it's not like there's a little alarm clock in there that's gaboom. It's if it's affected by some outside stimulus that triggers it.
Some believe that trigger is coming in 2012. And if it does, the result would be nothing short of catastrophic.
And we have in 2012 coming, as I've said, this climax of solar activity, which can stimulate such things as volcanic and perhaps supervolcano eruptions. In comes the energy, metal conducts it, shakes up the crust, kaboom.
The ticking time bombs of earthquakes, tsunamis, and supervolcanoes are frightening enough. But there are those who now point to an even greater natural nightmare that trumps them all. One that may already be on a direct path to planet Earth.